think we maybe just took a picture.
I heard it wasn't pushed over.
Oh wait, never mind.
Now edit.
Action. I just had the best dinner. Thank you so much, Linda.
You're welcome.
It was lovely.
It was good.
So we have 2 dogs left out of the litter.
This is the 2. This is a tiny little girl. This is Patty Cake.
She's so cute.
Little Patty Cake.
She's so tiny.
Yes. And this is our little boy.
We just woke them up.
Yeah, they've been sleeping. Oh,
He's
they're
so
just
sleepy.
sweating those eyes. Hi, little boy. Is he good wake up?
And he's such a snuggler, and she's so sweet too. Oh,
It's a
baby.
Patty Cake. The last 2 babies left out of Diva's litter.
Yes.
And they just turned 8 weeks old last Sunday. They'll be 9 weeks old this coming Sunday.
So exciting.
In a couple of days, yes, another week, they'll be ready to
Coming
go.
home. So, what can I expect when I bring them home?
Lots of curiosity. They'll be checking things out and trying to see what's new at your place, and they will be maybe a little bit timid at first, and especially first time being away from Mama for any length of time. They'll probably want to do a lot of chewing.
Okay, so no cords.
No cords. We will watch the cords, be sure they're all picked up. Be sure that there's not anything sharp that they can run into, bump into, or hurt themselves. And we pad our coffee table legs.
Okay.
And so that's why you see, if anybody comes and visits, they see the bubble wrap, and that works great because they can get out there and play, and if they run into it, they don't get hurt. So, kind of child-proof
Okay.
the area that they're going to be in, and be sure that you supervise them. Again, just to remind you, they do have the soft spots, the malera,
Okay.
and so that's
Sorry
just
about
like a soft spot in the baby's head. So you want to be careful when they're playing, or when you're playing with them, that they don't hit that, because that can do great damage.
Does that ever close up?
Sometimes it does. A lot of times it does, but many times it doesn't. It just depends on the dog. It's not uncommon for them to go either way with it.
Okay. What about food and feeding schedules?
Feeding schedules, they're pretty adaptable. They will wake us up anywhere from 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, good.
They're
Alarm
ready.
clock.
Yes, they are. They're ready to eat, ready to go. They can be adjusted. We're trying to get it on the 8 o'clock schedule. We're a little bit short of that. So if you're a late sleeper, that you might want to
I'm not.
put a bowl of
I'm
dry
at the
food in.
office by 7, so they'll be eating early
Okay, well,
breakfast.
the earlier the better. They don't mind at all. What I've been doing with them, since they're such chow hounds, you wouldn't believe this little one, but she gets in there and she just chows down. I put a dish of dry food in their playpen at night,
Okay.
so that when they get up in the middle of the night, if they're hungry, they can eat,
Okay.
and every morning it's gone. They clean it up.
Oh, really?
But they get
Okay.
both dry food and canned food. I feed them the Royal Canine Chihuahua food.
Okay.
And along with that, they get Blue Buffalo. It's a natural food, canned dog food, and they love it both. They'll eat either one or a mixture of both.
Okay.
So they're not picky by any means. Now, when they get home, until they get adjusted, they might be a little more picky. So you'll have to kind of gauge
But if it's
that.
the same food, if it's the same food, right?
But even if it's the same food, it's new surroundings,
Oh, okay.
and sometimes they get a little off on their schedules.
Okay.
So my suggestion to that, because there'll come eventually a day where they'll be picky and they won't feel like eating, and that's not uncommon. It's if they go for any length of time and then they don't eat, that you want to keep an eye on them. And that's where your NutriCal and SuperCal, those type of high calorie,
Like toothpaste food?
the tube, the toothpaste food, that comes in handy. What people don't realize when they take these little guys home and they're out visiting friends with them and they're gone for several hours, that they've missed a feeding, and that's when you run into the hypoglycemic tendencies with them. And so you want to be sure that they get food. If they act a little lethargic, be sure that they get water, something to drink, and that they do get a bite of nourishment.
Okay.
And preferably not people food, because the processed food is not always the best for them. If it's fresh food, people food, that's okay.
Okay. So while I'm at work, I'll have them pinned up in the kitchen with bubble wrap everywhere,
Yeah.
and dry food and water, and piddle pads.
And pill pads.
And then when I get home, I'll let them out. I have hardwood floors, and then make sure they're feeding on schedule. And then but sleeping arrangements, how's that going to work?
Before we get to the sleeping arrangements, you had mentioned about the pill pads.
This is true.
The pill pads, you might want to try to anchor them, or some of those have those sticky strips on
Oh, that's
them,
right.
you know, until they get
Okay,
used to
those.
them. We haven't tried the litter box form just yet, but when you're working with your pads and you're doing that, be sure you've got plenty of toys in there, otherwise
Oh,
the
that's
pad
right,
becomes
toys.
a toy.
Okay.
Now, sleeping arrangements. Okay, what were you thinking about?
Well, I was hoping to sleep with them in my bed.
Okay. Yes, we do like our bed buddies. Look at him, he's sitting